Happy Saturday, everybody. This is my Facebook Live. And I so need to come up with another name instead of Facebook Friday. I like the name Facebook Friday, but Fridays have not been good. At least yesterday was not good. So I'm driving home from work and I got into a car accident. It was horrible. Luckily, I'm okay. The other guy was okay, but my poor car is not okay. So we're waiting on a rental car right now. Anyway, it was a bummer. So that's why my Facebook Friday is coming to you on a Saturday. But what I wanted to talk about is, I don't know. It's time for a get real confession. I feel like a hypocrite. I do. And let me explain why. This week I posted a post, and the post said, you can't hate the fat away. You need to love the fat away. Okay. So I post that post. I believe it. I wrote about it in my book. It's a true statement, but I feel like such a hypocrite because that same night I got held up at work at a meeting and I was late getting home, and I'm on the elliptical and I was going to take a selfie to post about, hey, you have a long day, you still need to work out, something motivational, whatever. And I kept deleting the pictures because my nose was so huge on these pictures. So I end up taking a Snapchat picture and I draw a red circle around my nose with an arrow and it says my huge nose, and I sent it to my nieces, kind of just to be funny but yet to complain, I have a huge nose. And it started this conversation back. Yeah, so do I. Runs in the family. And then I realized, whoa, Sandy, what are you doing? Like I made this negative thing also about them, and I felt horrible. So, then I kept thinking, I wrote this entire book. I wrote a book about self-esteem, self-worth, self-love. And here I sit saying mean things about myself and bringing others into it. And I'm thinking, whoa, girl, enough. Which brings me to what I want to talk about. I read an article that Cosmo did this survey. 97% of women in this survey have mean thoughts, hateful thoughts about their bodies. And the survey goes on to say that 97% of these women have 13 negative thoughts about their bodies every single day. And some of them, if it's not 13, was just the average. Some of them went up. Some of them went up to 30, 50, even 100 negative things about their body. And I'm thinking, that's horrible. And then I realized I'm part of the problem. I am part of the problem. I was doing the same thing. So Ann Kearney, she has a PhD out of Cincinnati. She works with people with, body image. She has a quote from a study, and her quote says, it's become such an accepted norm to put yourself down that if someone says she likes her body, she's the odd woman out. So she goes on to say that she was in a group discussion recently, and one woman said, I actually feel okay about the way I look. And another woman scrunched her face and looked over at her and said, I've never heard anyone say that. I don't know if I believe you. It's realizing that it's become a norm. It's how us women bond. I was doing it with my nieces. I do it with my sisters all the time. It's not okay. We're training ourselves to think that way about ourselves, and it's just got to stop. They did a study at the University of Florida, 3 to 6-year-old little girls. 3 to 6-year-olds. I mean, they're just babies. 50% of these little ones, 50% have a fear of being fat, or they wanted to change something about themselves. And so they're realizing that they're getting these messages from TV, from social media, from their moms, from their aunts. I'm part of the problem. So Nicole Wood, she's from Oklahoma, and she has a quote I want to read to you, but her philosophy is that it's not about your body. It really isn't. She said, it's all about your body, and it has absolutely nothing to do with your body. When we're having a bad day, we often take those negative emotions out on our body rather than directing them at what the real problem is, like a boss or a boyfriend. And that awareness helps us see that it's really not about our bodies. So it got me thinking. So yesterday I went to work in the morning, and I was having great hair. Like today I kind of have this little bit of a Peg Bundy frizz situation going on. Yesterday my hair was perfect. I was feeling good. I felt snazzy in my outfit. I was all prepared to do my live yesterday. Now I have the accident, and I'm off the side of the road, my car's all smushed up, I'm waiting for the tow truck, waiting for the state trooper, all that jazz. And as I sit there, I'm shaking, I feel horrible. I start to have these negative thoughts about myself. All of a sudden, I'm starting to think about the wiggly bits under my arms. I'm starting to think about my thighs. I'm starting to think about like all these things that are physically wrong with my body. And I'm thinking, whoa, where is this coming from? Because just an hour ago, I was feeling fine. And then I realized that this study is really true. It's not about our bodies. I mean, it's not. It's about if we're having a bad day. So the next time you start to feel like, you get critical of your body, you need to ask yourself, what's really going on? Is it that I'm not feeling valued at my job or not fulfilled at my job? Or do I need to work on a relationship with somebody? Because is there something else going on? Because it's not about the wiggly bits. It's about something else. So what can we do? What can we do to muzzle that inner mean girl? Because I have to put a stop to it. I'm part of the problem. I feel horrible that I sent that Snapchat to my nieces this week about the nose, and it runs in the family. It's like, no, that has to stop. So we can rewire our brain. Studies have shown that when we think these negative thoughts and we start to get these negative things, we can do the same thing with positive. So they suggest that you write down when you have these positive feelings. For example, yesterday morning at work, I was feeling really good, really snazzy, really confident. If I wrote those down, then like yesterday afternoon after the car accident, I could go back to that. Now maybe yesterday might not have been a good time to go back, but you know what I mean. You can have that reminder of, it's not about the wiggly bits. So the second thing you could do is ask yourself, what is really going on? Is this really about my body? Because it's probably not. And you know what? Just say stop. Stop. Next time the mean girl is just yapping her yap, just say stop. And that's what I'm going to try to do from now on. Next time she starts yapping her yap, I'm going to say, stop. No, enough's enough. No, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to appreciate my body. And that's what I'm going to work on this week. And that's what I want my message to be to all of you is, it hit me. I was all shooken up after the accident, and then I realized, and I started to have those negative thoughts all the way down, right? Wiggly thighs, all that. And I thought, yeah, but guess what? I'm able to walk away from this accident. My legs are working. And all of a sudden, I didn't really care if there's stretch marks or varicose veins because I can walk. I'm not hurt. I'm not injured. So it might be a little wiggly under here, but I have arms and I can hug people. And we just have to appreciate our bodies for being healthy and being there for us, and muzzle that inner mean girl, because if we rewire her and rewire our programming, we can turn those negative thoughts into positive ones. And that's what I want my message to be to everyone today, because yesterday was just a real eye-opener for me. And I don't know what else to say, except I do need to share that I have married my opposite, my complete opposite. So I named my car. I love my car. It's a little red car, and it was the first really nice car I ever owned, and I love it. I named her Lola. I named her Lola because, of course, she's a showgirl, right? Yellow feathers in her hair and a dress cut down to there. Well, as Dan and I were sitting there for another hour waiting for a tow truck to arrive, I talked about how Lola's all beat up now, and she needs to do the cha-cha and merengue. And he looks at me and goes, "What the heck are you talking about?" And I said, "Lola, right? Barry Manilow." And he looked at me. He had no idea what I was talking about. And I thought, I have so married my opposite. I love him, but I married my opposite. And he makes quotes. He can quote every hair band from the 80s, and some of them I've never heard of. So I guess we can relate to each other that way. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling, but that's my message to all of you today. And it's to all of you women, young, old, all of us. It's rewire the brain and just say stop, muzzle the inner mean girl, because it's not worth listening to her. She's a liar. You need to remember, you need to know who you are. You need to know whose child you are. And you need to know that with that confidence, you can hold your head up high and you can walk with confidence. Stop the thoughts about everything else. You are magnetic. If you hold that head up high and you walk with confidence, you are magnetic, and don't forget it. So, God bless you all. Thank you for listening, and have a great weekend.